Hello. So today I want to talk to you about the game Curses and Covens that Good Games Publishing sent me. And this is a one versus many game. So in this game, you will have it plays 4 to 6 players. So if you're playing at 4, you'll have 3 people who are witches and 1 person who's a witch hunter, and so on. You always only have 1 witch hunter, and everyone else is a town, or they're a town player, excuse me. They're trying to collect witches. So the witch hunter gets their reference card and the town players get theirs. The witch hunter is trying to collect 5 witches in front of them, which they will be taking cards from the town players to do that. But there's also some curses in there, and if they get 2 of those, they lose. The town players are trying to get 3 witches of the same type into their hand. And in order to do that, it is going to be very tricky because there's limited communication and you can only really chat about your plan during certain phases of the game. So the game's played over 4 rounds. And so to start out, if I were the witch hunter, I get to look at 1 card and notice what it is, and I put it face down in the center. This card is said to be in the woods. And then we have our 3 spells that the town's players can use if at any point they have the correct witches in their hand. And that spell will be active for the round, but only 1 spell at a time. All of the town's players are then going to be dealt 2 cards. And as you see right here, the first thing that you do is you have a census. And the witch hunter is listening to all of this. So if anybody doesn't have any cards at this point, they wouldn't in round 1, but in a future round, they can draw a card. And then you can choose if you have a spell that you can cast. And then you're going to kind of make a plan. But you can't make an outright plan that just says, yeah, I'm going to give this card to this person, because the witch hunter's listening. And the witch hunter gets to go hunting later on and take cards from you. So you want to carefully discuss what your options are. You will then decide who you want to be the first player of your townsfolk, and you give them the first player marker. And we then move on to the arrival phase. And in the arrival phase, every townsperson is going to receive a new card. So this is new information that you may now not share with one another. So you have to decide to do with that new card what you think is best based on the win conditions of the game and based on what was discussed in your census. So you do that, and then you go to travel. So for travel, starting in turn order, every townsperson must do one of 2 things. You must either give one of your cards to another townsperson, or you must ask a townsperson for their card. You can't say, give me your green witch, but you can say, give me a card. And as long as it's not their last card, they have to give you a card. Or you have a third option, which is where you can take a card from your hand and you can swap from this hidden card that the witch hunter knows what this is. So you could choose to swap there if you wanted. So that is your travel phase. So basically, cards are moving all about. The witch hunter is observing all and trying to figure out where the best cards are. Then they go for the hunt. And this is where the witch hunter is going to try and hunt cards from your hands to get what they need. So they are going to say, this person, I want your middle card, and they have to give it to you. If it's a witch, great, they put it in front of themselves and they have captured one of their 5. If it's a townsperson, bummer. It just goes back, and townspeople don't really help you. They don't hurt you, but they don't get you towards your win condition. If you draw the 1 fake witch card, it will dismiss all of the witches you have collected so far, and that is not great. So you don't want to do that. And if I take a witch from another player, from one of the townsfolk, they then have to discard their whole hand. So if they had been getting very close to that 3 witch number, those are now gone. So there's a lot of shuffling and swapping and happening, and there's not a huge deck that you're dealing with. And there is beautiful gold foiling on the cards. So I love that. So these are just, the townsfolk, but you can see the different witches. These are the 2 curse cards that if I get a curse card in front of me, that is bad news. And then instead of one at a time picking a card and giving it to the new players, when it's my turn to do that, if there's 3 other players, I will take 3, select them, and pass them out. Because once I have gone on my hunt, then I'm going to one at a time take a card and give it to the person on the left so that I, as the witch hunter, have some information. And then everybody has to show their cards, and we go into the census phase again. And we do this 4 times, and we see who meets the win conditions first. So this is a very interesting and strategic one versus many game. So it's kind of like, if you enjoy Sheriff of Nottingham, but instead you're the sheriff the whole time, or if you like Werewolf, but you really want to like up the strategy level, things like that. And you really need to be paying attention to body language, because yes, during the census phase, the townsfolk can speak. During the other phases, they can be like, they can make faces, that's allowed, but they cannot speak about what's happening. So it's fun to deduce and to pay attention and to do all of those things. So this is a game that is great if you have that group size of 4 to 6 and want to try and figure out and have that tug of war between the two sides to see who will win. So that is Curses and Covens from Good Games Publishing. What are some of your favorite one versus mini games? Give me a like and a follow, and I'll keep bringing you more board game content. Thanks. Bye.